Erik ten Hag calls out the media in his latest press conference ahead of United's Europa League clash against FC Twente. Manchester United reportedly ready to fast-track their deal for Chris Rigg to January to fend off interest from other clubs, plus also the latest on Luke Shaw's injury. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this evening's show, but before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Let's try and see 500 likes on this episode. And if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe to the channel. We're very close to 40k. Make sure you get involved. Let's see how quickly we can hit this next milestone. Right. Let's start the show off by talking about Luke Shaw then, shall we? The man who seems to constantly be injured. So Erik ten Hag has provided a new update in his press conference ahead of the game against FC Twente tomorrow. And he said that apparently Luke Shaw will be back after the international break, which is, I think, mid-October. Let me just double check. I mean, it's... yeah, after the international break is... Our first game after the international break will be on about the 17th of October. So he's going to be back in maybe 3 or 4 weeks. But apparently that will just be back in training. So he might not be back playing matches until like, I don't know what, November? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back in time for England's next international fixtures in mid-November. And then he'll probably get injured again, knowing Luke Shaw. But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? He's our problem. There's nothing we can do about it. He's got 4 years left on his deal. It's just another one of those ones, isn't it? Really, really frustrating. Really frustrating. But the one thing I'll say about this is, right, you can't blame Luke Shaw for signing the new contract. If I was him, I'd sign a new contract. Manchester United was stupid enough 2 seasons ago to give Luke Shaw a new deal after he'd been injured for most of the previous 7 or 8 seasons. He's missed 50% of games over the last decade that he's played for us. So, yeah, the only people who are to blame here are the Glazers, who probably thought, you know what, we don't want to spend money on a new left-back. Let's just give Luke Shaw a new contract and hope that he stays fit. And obviously that's backfired. So, yeah, they're the only ones really to blame in this situation. Ed Woodward, Richard Arnold and John Murtagh, the people stupid enough to reward Luke Shaw with a new contract after being injured for most of his career. But anyway, that's the latest on Luke Shaw. Bit of an update on the squad for tomorrow. Apparently Marcus Rashford is set to start tomorrow. Cool, no problem with that at all. And apparently Collier is also going to be in the squad for the game against FC Twente tomorrow. I would give Collier some game time. Why not? You know, put him at left back again. I think he was decent against Barnsley. Give him an opportunity. Because at the moment, you have to remember, when we have the ball, our right back and our left back are inverting into the midfield. So really, at home against FC Twente, we probably expect to have, 70% possession, I imagine. So Toby Collier would really be playing as a midfielder for most of the game, because in defence, when we don't have the ball, he'll be a left back, but when we have the ball, he'll be playing in midfield, if that makes sense, you know? So at the moment, Erik ten Hag has it, so it's just Martinez and De Ligt who stay back, and the left back and the right back join the midfield to kind of fill out that area. So yeah, great. Give Toby Collier some game time. I mean, FC Twente, it should be an easy game. 4th in the Eredivisie. They just won 5-0 a couple of days ago. FC Twente away from home. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've never seen FC Twente play football before, so I have absolutely no idea what to expect. Maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I'm being over... I can't think of the right word, but we should be beating FC Twente. I'm sorry. I'm just having a look at their squad on paper. FC Twente are probably championship level in English football. I reckon that's probably fair. They're probably like a championship level club, aren't they? And we should be beating championship level clubs, clearly. Yeah, I would say they're a championship level club, FC Twente. Like if they were in the Premier League, if they were in England, they wouldn't be in the Premier League, I doubt. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll come to Old Trafford tomorrow and embarrass us, and we'll all be sat here saying, you know, how stupid I looked. But I'm confident we'll beat them. Right, let's have a look at what people are saying in the chat. Some people are saying that Luke Shaw should retire. The thing is, right, in some ways you're correct. But at the same time, right, Luke Shaw has got 3 years left on his contract. He's earning 200 grand a week. Why would he retire? He can just continue earning his salary to sit on not even sit on the bench, just to be injured. And I know people will say, oh, I'm sure he doesn't like to be injured. I'm sure he would rather be playing, of course. But it's the same as Phil Jones, isn't it? I saw an interview with Phil Jones earlier on today, and he said that apparently, I can't remember what it was on, but I saw an interview with Phil Jones earlier, and he said that when Erik ten Hag first came to Manchester United, Phil Jones hadn't played for like 2 years. And Phil Jones supposedly thought he was ready to come back. He did one training session, and within 5 minutes, he realised that he was never going to play football again, Phil Jones, because he was so injury prone. And then after that, he said, I'm never playing football again. But the point I'm making here is he still happily collected his wages until his contract ran out. So you can't really blame Luke Shaw. As I said, it's not his fault that Man United were dumb enough to give him a new deal. And if I was him, I would take every penny I could get. He doesn't support Man United. Like, why would he care? He's on £7.8 million a year, Luke Shaw. Plus there's bonuses of 2.6 million. I don't blame him. 3 more years of 7.8 million. So, you know, for the people saying, oh, he should just retire, that's effectively him turning down £24 million worth of money that he's owed. Like, why would he do that? He's never going to do that. Ever. So, yeah. Right, let's move on to that, though, and let's talk a little bit about Erik ten Hag calling out the media, because this caught me by surprise a little bit, to be honest. So, obviously, Erik ten Hag has spoken in his latest press conference ahead of the game tomorrow against FC Twente, and he was asked about why he dropped Marcus Rashford, and Erik ten Hag was not happy about it. He was effectively saying, which I completely agree with, right? We need to rotate, and putting Rashford on the bench was rotating. When Erik ten Hag doesn't rotate, people say, why is he not rotating? And then when he does rotate, they try and make up stories saying that he's dropping players and that he doesn't like them and that they've fallen out. And, you know, people put out absolute crap. He can't win. I do feel for Erik ten Hag at some points. Like, he literally cannot win, ever. Anything he does is scrutinised or made to look bad. And I guess that's just all part of the, you know, part of being the Manchester United manager. That's all just part of it. There's nothing you can do. That's just the situation. If you're the Manchester United manager, you get paid the big bucks, but you're expected to take a lot of criticism and a lot of stick and a lot of unfair, you know, unreasonable abuse sometimes. But yeah, that's just part of the job, unfortunately. But yeah, so that was Erik ten Hag. He's not very happy, calling out the media. And I don't blame him. But moving on from that, I want to talk a little bit about Chris Rigg then. So the story this evening is that apparently Manchester United are ready to fast-track their approach for Chris Rigg. Obviously, a 17-year-old midfielder who currently plays his football for Sunderland. Apparently, there are lots of teams who are trying to sign him. So Manchester United would be willing to kind of fast-track their approach for him and try and sign him in the January transfer window. He's got 3 years left on his contract. He did just sign a new deal with Sunderland. Obviously, he's come through the Sunderland Youth Academy. Looks like the real deal. People are saying he's the next Jude Bellingham. I'm not sure about that, to be honest. Like, I haven't seen enough of him to kind of compare. But I guess it's just because of the position he plays and the fact that he plays in the same league, etc., etc. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't go as far as saying he's the new Jude Bellingham. I think that's probably a step too far for me personally. But I get it. People are getting excited. People are getting hyped up, which is good. You know, that's all part of football, isn't it? That people get excited about players. But yeah, if there's anybody who's watching the video today who knows more about this Chris Rigg fella, let me know in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. I'd be really interested to see what you will think. Let me know. Right, let's see what else we've got in the chat this evening. Somebody in the chat is saying that we should sell Luke Shaw to Saudi Arabia. I mean, mate, I would love that I would love for that to happen, but I think the likelihood of that happening is probably quite slim. But you never know. I just have a feeling that Luke Shaw is going to be happy to see out his contract at Manchester United, to be honest with you. I think he's going to be more than happy to just chill and keep earning. As I said, I think, what did I say? He's going to get £24 million between now and the end of his deal. Can you really blame him? You're earning £24 million to effectively do nothing. Now, I know he'll still be like going to the gym, eating well and doing stuff like that. But to be paid £24 million to go to the gym and eat well is not really a job, is it? But I do genuinely believe with Luke Shaw that if he, he probably does want to play football, but I just think that he is injury prone. And I don't think that that's ever going to change now. He's 30 now, So I would say 99% that Luke Shaw will stay here for the next 3 years. He'll earn his £8 million a year in wages, and then he'll leave at the end of his contract. So, yeah, that's my take on that. But if a Saudi club wanted to buy Luke Shaw, of course, I would 100% sell him. 100%. Study English says, I think the three midfielders should be Mainu, Ugarte and Eriksson. Fair enough. I think, to be fair, Eriksson has done well in the last couple of games. I was very much in the camp of getting rid of Eriksson. I thought his time at Manchester United was over. But in the last couple of games, he's been decent. I don't think he's put a foot wrong. Christian Eriksen, he's brought composure. So yeah, that is a solid midfield. I like that. Really, really nice. Right, I think that's kind of everything I had planned for this evening, guys. There's not really any questions coming in, so I'm going to wrap the video up here. I'm not just going to ramble for the sake of it. I hope everyone has a nice evening. I'll be back live tomorrow at 8:30 as normal. Please do make sure to drop a like before you leave today. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great evening, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye for now.